Well, I reached the end of the road for the Jeep here. I'm gonna have to reverse down about 1 kilometer down this pretty tight little trail that just kept getting tighter. I went over a pretty sketchy bridge that was taped off, and I took the tape off and went over it, and there were some holes in it, but it still looked pretty sturdy for, you know, a standard vehicle. So I risked it because I saw how far I had to go still to the trailhead. So I made it about 1 kilometer after that, and now it's like just super dense crap. So they're gonna be at least a couple kilometers further till the trailhead. So it's my first time trying to get into the higher section of Monashee Provincial Park, and I couldn't find any info on this, you know, accessing the trailhead that was, you know, within the past 10 years. So I just went for it because it saves me a whole day of like savage hiking to get from Spectrum Lake to Big Peter's Lake. That hike sucks. I've done it, but I didn't even do it with, you know, a tent and everything, because I'm going to be up here for 5 days. So I wanted to cut that out a bit if I could. It's pretty beautiful up here though. You know, I almost think I could make it here to turn around, but it's just too dense, too tough to get even to the turnaround here. And there's a big log sticking halfway into the trail. So use my reversing skills, which only continue to get better because I keep getting myself into situations like this. This is how dense the brush is on the sides of the trail, and I haven't even reached the trailhead. I've been hiking for half an hour on this old neglected road. Well, I made it to the trailhead. There's nothing to see here really. Not much of a trail. It's basically become a deer path. But hey, it's better than nothing. I haven't even been hiking 5 minutes since the trailhead, and there's a bridge that's absolutely destroyed. You know what? This is awesome. This is like even better than if I were on some designated trail. This is like a super old neglected trail, and it makes things interesting. So I just came out of the trees. I'm probably close to halfway to Margie Lake at this point, going alongside a stream, and now there's no trail. So I'll go by the markers. This is awesome. This is when you know you're really in the wild one. There's no actual trail even. You're just going by the markers. I made it to Margie Lake. That peak you see in the distance, I'm going to be trekking to the top of it the day after tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be hiking to the next lake, which is even bigger. So I'm up here hiking beside Margie Lake, and I found a freaking huge bear turd. You know what's crazy about this? Like, I don't think I've seen one this big before. Like, it's the size of, you know, like, it's like a horse poo size. And this bear has a parasite. It pooped out part of it. Maybe it pooped out the whole thing, but I doubt it. Those are usually pretty long. Tapeworms, I think they're called. But yeah, the things you find in the woods. Margie Lake. And right behind me here, I found a huge hole that some animal dug. It's probably trying to get to a marmot. And I believe that it probably got that marmot. So, there's a big bear up here. Lots of signs of that bear. But yeah, maybe I'll get some photos of him instead of getting eaten. It's a big boy. But then, like, come on. Somebody making these in the sand, like, this is too weird, guys. And they go in the water too, like, something has been walking along the shore here that's, it's just weird. See, there's one up here too. Alright, I made it to the other end of Margie Lake. Found a nice campsite that looks like it might have been used in the past month. And yeah, it's really nice. Just making some dinner. And then I'm gonna hike out to the point there and see how the fishing is. So I'm at the point in the middle of Margie Lake, like literally in the middle. Get an idea how big it is. It's pretty decent for an alpine lake. There's my tent. There's another little point over there. And it's really peaceful up here. I'm the only one. Alright, I found what I believe is a really good fishing spot. Well, I hope it is. Because it drops off a bit faster here than anywhere else I've been on the shoreline. I walked out to the end of the point. The other side wasn't very good, but this side right here seems decent. I've even got worms. Picked up some worms on the way here. I've got my mini tackle box just crammed full of lures. And I've got this one I've been having really good luck with, this silver spinner. So I've got a worm on there. I mean, that's pretty irresistible for fish that barely ever see fishing pressure. I saw some jumping earlier. Well, second cast I got a pretty big hit, but it got off because maybe I didn't set it hard enough. Maybe it didn't hit the hook the right angle, but third cast, got a fish. And he fought hard, so he's got a triple barb in him, so thankfully I brought some mini pliers. I'm fully prepared here. It's looked like I've got a pretty good spot, and I chose the right lure, the right spot. Either that or the fish here are too easy. I'll just wait till he finishes thrashing. I'm gonna loosen my drag a bit so I can tire him out a little more, but 2 more casts and I caught my second fish. So the fishing here is really good, guys. And he's not even close to out, like, that's why you gotta bring pliers. You want those barbed hooks because you don't want to bring a net up here. Guys, this is my 9th fish. I'm gonna put them in the water. But they don't stop thrashing, so I can't get good photos. You know, if I try to take a photo, they just thrash constantly. See, like, oh yeah, they don't want to be touched. But he's a decent pan fry, like over a pound. But yeah, my 9th fish, and I lost one halfway in that was jumping. I switched spots, so I'm at the actual point now because I noticed there was a few fish jumping out here. Well, it's been under an hour and I have caught 11 fish and lost 2. Like halfway in, you know, I lost 2. And I've had lots of hits as well that got off quick, but so yeah, they fight hard. You bring them in and you better have pliers. Another nice one. Gonna let him go. So it's been just over an hour, and guess how many fish I've caught now? This is my 12th one. So that's pretty darn good. They're all about this size. If you're fiddling around close to the shore, you catch some half pounders, but the 1 pounders, 1.5 pounders, they're further out. I'm sure there's some 2 pounders in this lake too. But yeah, good fishing. I'm gonna keep going another half hour and then I'll probably head back to camp. But wow, a dozen fish in just over an hour. That's about as good as it gets, guys, in BC. No filter, guys. I just caught 13 fish in an hour and 20 minutes, and now I've just been mesmerized by the sunset. It's a beautiful, peaceful morning at Margie Lake. The loons just came right up a few feet from shore, basically, and while I was taking some photos. It's day 2, and I'm on my way from Margie Lake to Big Peters Lake. I've been hiking for half an hour with no trail, no markers, because there is none. And yeah, it's really pretty though. I'm working my way down there, and then I'm gonna see how far that takes me that way. So yeah, haven't seen any bears yet though. So I've been hiking over half an hour. I'm following the stream now. I'm on my way from Margie Lake to Big Peters Lake. No trail, no markers, but I'm sure it's up there. It's a pretty big lake. Surprised there isn't a bigger stream. There's probably one over there on that side somewhere, but that's a nice stream that I would actually drink out of and probably not get sick. But anyway, this is why you gotta have these, you know, high-end waterproof boots, because you're gonna come to sections where your feet are gonna get wet if you got mediocre boots that are water resistant, not waterproof. Well, I made it to Big Peters Lake. There's a beautiful hike here. Beautiful day to be out backpacking. I got my tent set up at one of the good spots right up there. Gonna be doing some fishing this afternoon. Just gonna make lunch. It's my 3rd fish here at Big Peters. I've lost a few, and I've caught about as many as I've lost, but they're liking the 5 diamonds actually here. I caught one on the silver spinner. I was using that for an hour. I caught one, lost one on that one, and then I lost like 2 or 3 on the 5 diamonds, number 0. This is just a little guy, but the last one was bigger. But yeah, I caught a couple with it so far. I'm gonna keep going. I've only been using the 5 diamond for like 15 minutes, so not bad. 2 fish with it already. It's my 4th fish. It's a decent rainbow. It's about probably 1.5 pounds. Not bad. 5th fish. Got him on the 5 diamond. Gonna set him loose. It's a nice fish. There he is. It's a couple pounds for sure. 7th fish. It was literally
just talking about over there, and he told me to cast out and then I'd catch a 7 fish. So I did, and I was using a lure I haven't caught anything on ever, which is crazy. 7 fish of the day. It's a couple pounds. Let him go. Okay, buddy. There he goes. It's about 8 o'clock.
I'm now at Little Peters Lake. It wasn't part of the plan to come here, but I missed the turnoff for Mount Fosthall. I didn't see any trailhead for it or sign or anything, and I realized that I had passed it because on the map the trail was quite a ways back. So I just decided to keep going and go to Little Peters because it's not that hard of a hike. It's actually really easy. So yeah, I'm just taking a break here, and then I'm gonna try and find Mount Fosthall, go back. But yeah, it's very pretty here too. It's Peters Lake, that's where I'm staying. And I'm on my way up to Mount Fosthall. Well, almost at the top of Mount Fosthall. It's a nice breeze when you're sweaty. Pretty sweet view. But it looks like I'm going to be almost rock climbing to the top, so I'm leaving my trekking poles here. It was already pretty sketchy getting up here, so yeah, but wish me luck. Here's another update on the way to the top of Mount Fosthall. Headed up there, and there's a couple more humps I think, but good view of that lake. And it really is a razor's edge here that I'm hiking along, so got a little flat spot here. I'm just taking a short break. It's pretty sketchy, but if you're a rock climber, you'd love this. Well, it's pretty daunting, this hike, guys. There hasn't been, much stable rock, and if you look at that, most of that rock I'm about to go over is very unstable. So I know it's been done before. It's just, this is easily the sketchiest hike I've ever done. So far I'm gonna keep going, but if things go south, I just want to say to my family, I love you guys, and I knew the risks, and I lived a full life, and I'll see you again someday in heaven. This is as far as I go. I'm not jumping down there. It's very sketchy. Even with rock climbing gear, I wouldn't do this because the rock is very unstable, and I've had a few rocks give way beneath me and roll down. So if you're suicidal, then this is your ticket, but tons of it rolling down below me. And there was a big rock that gave way underneath my foot, but thankfully I had most of my weight on my other foot. So this is where the journey ends, and I'm honestly just glad that I found a point where I can say this is not safe to any degree, like where I can't say that it's being done by people who aren't suicidal, basically. So very few people would even come this far. I think what they consider the top of Mount Fosthall is back closer to where I left my gear. So it's been a good day's hike, but I think it's time for me to turn around. starting to get hot in the midday heat, so I put my long sleeve around my head. On my way back down, headed that way. I made it over the sketchiest part though, so this is easy compared to what I just did back there. I made it over that big hump over there even. They're just explosive, they're like candy. I'm pretty exhausted on my way back down from Mount Fosthall. Well, got me another rainbow on the 5 of diamonds. I just came back from my day-long hike, threw in the 5 of diamonds. It wasn't even 5 minutes and I got this bad boy. Let him go. That's my 8th fish. There you go. He needs to get uprighted. This one was... Oh, what you doing, bro? He's a nice rainbow though. That one was jumping like crazy. It's a good thing I hooked him good. Guys, I've got fresh bear tracks. So, these weren't there the other day when I came through. So, and I heard some noise up there just now, but I don't know if that's the bear or what. But, yeah, I'm headed the same direction as the bear almost. I'm headed that way. The bear may even be headed that way, I don't know. But whatever, that's what you expect up here. And you know, maybe I'll even get some good photos of the bear at some point. I just hope he keeps his distance. Been hiking about an hour and 15 minutes on my way up to Fawn Lake. It's very pretty up here. You know what song comes to mind when I'm up here hiking high in the mountains? On the way, on the way, on the way. From Ice Age, I think of Sid the Sloth hiking up in the mountain, up in the glaciers. Found this tiny little lake on my way up to Fawn Lake. It's a really pretty little spot. It's a pretty good view too. I made it to Fawn Lake. Took me just over 2 hours. It's a beautiful hike. I'll probably go around the left side of the lake and keep going a little ways. Maybe go to the Valley of the Moon, we'll see. I'm at the far end of Fawn Lake and the view is even better because now you got Mount Fosthall in the background. And that route along the top ridge is the route that I tried to take to the top because I didn't know better. But yesterday evening, a couple ladies in the campsite next to me at Big Peter's Lake, they gave me a nice map because they're headed out today. And so I can explain what I did wrong is there's a T at South Caribou Pass. There's one that's a goat path that goes directly to your right. There's the one that goes straight, which is the dotted line there. A dotted line on this map, by the way, means that it's not a designated trail. So it could be a goat path. It could be a decent trail like on and off or whatever. And there was also a trail going the other way to this other top of this other mountain. And so I took the goat trail, but it's also there's a couple mountain bikers up there, and one of them took off as I was getting there, and the other one I kind of like spooked her because she didn't expect to see someone coming up behind her because they came from a lodge from the other side, and so they could access South Caribou Pass was like as far as they could go on their mountain bikes. But I asked her, hey, which way goes to Mount Fosthall? And she was like, I don't know, dude, probably this way. So I'm like, yeah, I think this way goes to it too, probably. And she said she'd been to Mount Fosthall before, but it didn't sound like she had any idea, honestly. But anyway, so I went along that goat path, and you can see the contour lines that, like, yeah, I made it almost all the way, and then there's that one gap there that's pretty bad. That's right close to the top of Mount Fosthall, and I made it all the way to the edge of that. And then I couldn't go straight down and then, you know, walk the 20 feet to the other side of that gap and then go straight up like 30-40 feet. It would have been suicide. But so yeah, but I made it almost as high as Mount Fosthall, so you can see. But yeah, I'll have to do the route properly next year. So I just came out the other side of Valley of the Moon. It was nothing special. I don't know why they call it Valley of the Moon. There's a nice lake out there. That one doesn't even have a name on the map, but it's kind of parallel with Valley of the Moon. There was a pond up there and a small waterfall and a stream, but nothing special really. Maybe that is the reason why they call it Valley of the Moon, because of that rock, which looks kind of alien to this world. But I'm gonna have some fun with my Canon SX540 HS, which has 200 times zoom. I can zoom right in on that lake. Maybe I'll see a bear or something, or a moose. I'm on my way back through Valley of the Moon. For those of you who are wondering, this is what it looks like. Literally nothing special. So there is literally blueberries everywhere along the trail. Like the whole time I've been hiking, there's been tons of blueberries in the alpine, and I was gorging on them too. If I eat any more, I'm gonna have the trouts too. 11th fish. There you go, buddy. So this is my 13th fish on my last day. I think I'm done fishing now, but he's a fighter. He's not done fighting yet. Well, it's day 5. I'm on my way back. On my way to Margie Lake, and then I'll be headed back to the Jeep. But found a little deer path here. Haven't seen any big game out here the whole time, which is crazy because I'm seeing tons of tracks of all kinds. And you know, I'm hoping I see a bear or a moose on my way back from a distance, of course, so I can get some good photos. But yeah, still got lots of energy, like more than I thought I would by day 5. Very beautiful out here. Lots of wide open areas with streams running through them. And a massive bear turd.